Very often, we forget that the Earth is just so small in comparison to what is out there in the universe. And what's more interesting is the abundance of mysteries and dangers that are lurking out there. So in this video, we are going to take a look at 11 of the most creepy things found in space that might just end human life. As we go down the list of things that are going to get more dangerous, imminent, and weird, and you'll probably want to stick around for what danger is on the top at number 1. But for now, let's start with number 11, 4179 Toutatis. You might not know it, but the Earth is actually pelted by dust and rocks falling from space every single day. Well, you see, the reason why till now we are still alive is that normally most of this debris is small enough and will burn up in the atmosphere. But once every few million years, an asteroid the size of a small town hits. In fact, 66 million years ago, a 10-kilometer-long asteroid crashed into Earth's surface, creating a 177-kilometer crater that wreaked havoc on our climate. It destroyed species that had roamed Earth for over 170 million years, aka the dinosaurs. While an asteroid is unlikely to destroy the planet, scientists at NASA believe that anything over 2 kilometers could have similar and damning consequences for civilization. Enter 4179 Toutatis. This 5.4-kilometer asteroid makes frequent flybys past a number of planets, including Earth. Scientists warn that the asteroid's chaotic orbit makes a flight path impossible to predict, and a collision with Earth is not a far reach. With estimates that Earth's next close encounter is set to be in 2069, let's hope NASA's Planetary Defense Coordination Office has something up their sleeves that could protect us from an asteroid attack. While there are practical measures that can predict and protect us from an asteroid attack, there's not really anything that can protect us from a huge nuclear-powered ball. Enter number 10, a nuclear-powered shooting star. When people see a shooting star in space, it usually refers to the luminous gas trail left by meteors as they burn up in the atmosphere. But real shooting stars actually do exist, and they're not exactly the stars you want to make a wish upon, considering that they are huge burning nuclear balls of gas flying freely across the universe at thousands of kilometers per second. These huge nuclear power balls of gas burn through everything in their path and tend to destroy the delicate balance of the planetary orbits they pass. Fortunately for Earth, only around a dozen of these hypervelocity stars have ever been discovered. However, encountering one in our vast universe is a real problem, and nothing is going to stop one from obliterating our planet if it does decide to pay our solar system a little visit. So far, we've been covering objects and phenomenons that come from other parts of the galaxy. But what if the danger is closer to home and is being caused by something that we encounter every day? Number 9, the drifting moon. The moon is oftentimes taken for granted, but what if I told you that the moon is more important than it seems? Well, you see, the moon is actually drifting away from Earth at a rate of 3.8 centimeters every year. And even though it might seem like a relatively small number, we are already experiencing the impacts of it. First of all, the loss of the moon's gravitational pull will have terrible effects on climate and weather. Without the tidal drag from the moon to slow our planet's rotation, days would become 10 hours longer, and Earth will tilt a further 60 degrees, sending the planet into a climate crisis. And on top of that, If a giant Earth-destroying asteroid were to hit the Moon because it is out of the Earth's orbit, the Moon's rocks and dust will start to collect around the Earth in rings, causing huge chunks of the Moon to constantly slam into the Earth's surface, bringing destruction on Earth. Well, we can take comfort that as of now, the Moon is still drifting at a very slow pace. And well, it will only happen if the Moon were to drift far enough. So for now, let's worry about something else. Maybe something that will actually happen. Number 8. The colliding of galaxies. Not very far away from our own Milky Way, there lies the Andromeda Galaxy, which is actually hurtling towards us at 110 kilometers per second. Scientists estimate that in 4 billion years, it will collide with our own Milky Way, leaving a trail of gas and stardust in its wake. Some stars will be destroyed in the head-on collision. Others will be thrown out of their galaxies entirely. The resulting back and forth of the two galaxies ripping apart and then being dragged back together will finally end in a supermassive black hole at the center and the birth of a whole new galaxy. Speaking of black holes, number 7, eaten by a black hole. Even without the help of CERN, there is a possibility that Earth could be swallowed by a black hole, defined as a concentration of mass great enough that the force of gravity prevents anything from escaping it, even light. This very phenomenon that we know so little about could be the end of humanity. Well, you see, many things can cause a black hole, but maybe a more immediate one is that one of the stars of the Eta Carinae stellar system is about to go supernova. It's even possible that it has already exploded, but the image of the event is still light years away. When the star does go, its core could collapse in on itself, forming a neutron star or a black hole, swallowing the remains of Eta Carinae and could take the Earth with it. At the same time, it is possible, albeit with long odds, that a rogue black hole could also happen upon our solar system. If that were to happen, the Sun and all the planets would likely be ripped apart. Well, if you thought losing the planets and the Sun was bad, finding out that galaxies are not vegan could be even worse with what's coming next on our list. Number 6. Stellar cannibalism. Imagine galaxies as big eaters. Galactic cannibalism is when one large galaxy munches on a smaller buddy through gravity playdates. This cosmic feast usually leaves behind a mix-and-match galaxy, like the Whirlpool Galaxy, the Mice Galaxies, and the Antenna Galaxies, all showing off their irregular shapes. Don't mix up galactic cannibalism with galactic collision, though. In the collision, galaxies crash into each other but manage to keep their original forms. It's like a celestial dance, where some galaxies merge and become galactic mashups, while others just gracefully bump into each other without changing their looks. Next up, confirms Einstein's theory of relativity. Number 5. The massive black hole traveling 5 million miles per hour. Yes, you heard us right. In 2017, the Hubble Space Telescope spotted a mysterious black hole 8 billion light-years from Earth in a galaxy called 3C186 behaving weirdly. Specifically, it was dislodged from its own galaxy and was hurtling through space at speeds of around 5 million miles per hour. Scientists theorized that the collision of galaxy 3C186 with another galaxy could have caused this. Well, you see, scientists have warned that as the cosmic behemoth with a staggering mass and power equivalent to 1 billion suns continues to engulf everything in its cosmic journey, it's only a matter of time before this supermassive black hole reaches our galaxy and rips apart the fabric of space-time that we know. As insane as that sounds, What if I told you that the supermassive black hole was not the most dangerous, and these threats to humanity found in space are only about to get crazier and scarier? And what if the danger from space actually came from something like our sun? Which brings us to number 4, the imminent solar storm. Back in July 2012, there was this intense solar event known as a solar superstorm or coronal mass ejection. It streaked through the space where Earth orbits, and something eerie happened. It collided with the Stereo A spacecraft. Now, here's the twist. Daniel Baker from the University of Colorado revealed that if this cosmic storm had hit just 1 week earlier, Earth would have been directly in its path, facing the full force of its impact and the potentially catastrophic aftermath. Imagine the mysterious dance of celestial timing that spared our planet from a cosmic confrontation. Fast forward to 2024, NASA released warnings that the sun released 2 major solar flares with the power to cut off all cellular connections in the world, potentially bringing the world to its knees. And the kicker was that a third and more powerful solar flare was imminent. The funny thing is, the movie Leave the World Behind was just released with its premise built on a solar storm cutting off global connection, and all that sounds like a fantasy, but with the news from NASA, as well as the fact that the Obamas were the producers for this film, many people are wondering if this is actually a warning of what is about to happen. Well, even though the threat of a solar storm seems bleak, we have to at least be thankful that the solar flare cripples the world but can't hurt us directly. Unfortunately, catastrophe number 2 actually will. Number 3. The gamma ray bursts that are destroying planets. Gamma ray bursts, or GRBs for short, are like colossal fireworks. Massive explosions emitting ungodly amounts of gamma radiation throughout its galaxy. These cosmic spectacles have the potential to wipe out entire planets by stripping away the planet's entire upper atmosphere, leaving life exposed to the harmful ultraviolet radiation from the sun, or when dialed up to 11, has the potential to destroy a planet in its entirety. Even though we've been fortunate enough that the last few GRBs in the Milky Way were far enough from Earth, keeping life on Earth relatively untouched, scientists have warned that these cosmic events happen roughly once every 5 million years, and the Milky Way is actually overdue for another one of these gamma ray bursts. With the unpredictable nature of these GRBs, it could be a matter of seconds before life on Earth is reduced to ashes, and we humans would not even know it. While we humans can still live in the potential denial that this catastrophe might not even happen in our lifetime, this next space catastrophe is actually something that scientists are really afraid of and do not have an answer as to why it is happening. Oh, and also, did I mention that this catastrophe is inevitable? Number 2. Huge parts of the Milky Way are getting sucked somewhere. Out there in the vastness of space, something mysterious is happening. Classified only as the Great Attractor, a cosmic vacuum is slowly but silently pulling parts of our home, the Milky Way galaxy, into the unknown, never to be seen again. Back in 2009, scientists stumbled upon a peculiar discovery. A group of galaxies racing at an incredible speed towards a small spot in the sky, nestled between the constellations of Centaurus and Vela. They've given this enigmatic phenomenon the name dark flow, drawing a connection to other cosmic riddles like dark matter and dark energy, and warns that it is only a matter of time before our entire galaxy gets sucked away. It's as if the universe is whispering secrets, and this mysterious force is part of the celestial puzzle that keeps scientists intrigued. But the question remains, where are we getting sucked to? And what if we're being sucked into a place of where life is about to restart? Number 1. Big Bang 2.0. According to the Big Rip theory, in a few billion years, something called dark energy, which we don't fully understand, might get really strong. If this happens, it could tear apart every tiny bit of matter on Earth down to the atoms. Dr. Robert Caldwell, a physicist from Dartmouth, explained this scary idea in a paper he wrote with professors from the California Institute of Technology, showing that an event like this is very likely and can happen, annihilating the human race in an instant, simply because we just don't understand it. With all that said, maybe the next time you look up at a peaceful night sky full of stars, just remember that it might not entirely be what it seems, because any one of the above catastrophes mentioned could happen, and the human race as we know it could disappear forever.